I read this comment and my jaw hit my fucking desk when I read it. If you click on this comment and you click see comment, it's going to take you back to a video in which a young woman is explaining the inequities in society between men and women. She's talking about how women make up 50% of the population, yet they only represent 25% of this field and 10% of this field and X amount of percent of this field. And she goes on into all of the various things that are the differentiating factors in society between men and women. And one of those things that she discussed was being afraid in a lot of scenarios, being afraid to walk down the street when you're a petite woman or a woman in general. And then we had this fucking guy come in and say the following: I am sorry for you feeling slighted and unsafe. Do you think men feel safe walking down the street? ? I am 6'3", 6'3" tall, and weigh 290 pounds. Because of my size, I have some guys try to intimidate me on family trips. Welcome to my world is how it ended. Yeah, my wife just dropped her phone on her desk. Welcome. You're 6'3", 290, and you're talking about welcome to my world to a girl who's a woman who's 109 pounds? Maybe 115 pounds? Welcome to my world? Are you fucking kidding me? The first thing I'm going to say to you, with all due respect, is at 6'3", 290, if you're afraid of anybody trying to intimidate you on a family vacation, you're a fucking pussy. You are a fucking pussy. I'm 5'9", 300, and I'm not intimidated by anybody, even when I know I'm going to get my ass kicked. But I don't understand how you could possibly compare your scenario to that of any woman who's afraid walking down any street in any town or city in this country. Leave it to a fucking man to take a woman's fears, legitimate fears, of living in a society full of men who think that they are entitled to things like pleasure as a result of her body, and say, welcome to my world. Do you have anything to add to this, Renee?
I'm just baffled because I'm 5'5", 5'6", not 290, but not 109 either. I'm speechless.
Welcome to 6'3", 290.
You don't get to say welcome to my world because it's not your world. You're not a woman. You're not intimidated, or men will get into a woman's face.
Yeah.
I've had it happen to me. I was sitting at my desk when ages ago, 20 years ago.
Bill?
No, it wasn't.
Oh, okay.
It was this truck driver guy, and he came in and he was mad that I was giving work to the N-word people, is what he said.
To black people, okay.
Yes. But I wanted to specifically call out
That he used the N-word.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he was wearing a pair of bib overalls. One strap only done because he was a big boy. And he was screaming at me over my desk. So he was standing above me, and he was easily 6'5", 350. Just standing above me, screaming at me. And it took 3 minutes of him screaming before one of the other guys went, man, don't talk to her that way. It took that fucking long, and I had 3 guys around me. I wasn't physically afraid, but he tried to intimidate me to give him business.
Well, and that's just one example of men going into women's spaces. Like, there's a video that's I should find it on TikTok, of Lucille Ball being interviewed on like one of those, like the early versions of like the Donahue and Oprah shows, right? And I forget who the guy was. And he's going through the audience with a microphone and taking questions from audience members for Lucille Ball. I'm sure you guys on TikTok have seen this. And every time a woman stood up to ask a question, he put his arm around her. And every time a woman stood up and he put his arm around her, Lucille Ball went, take your hands off her. Because a woman couldn't stand up to ask a question without him touching her. And that doesn't happen to men. Men don't go into spaces and other men touch you. Not like that. Not all the time. Rub your shoulders, give you a hug, all of that shit that you don't want to see happen. You know what I'm saying? In your fucking space without consent. And you're going to sit here and have the unmitigated sack to say, welcome to my world? Bro, you are about to get lit the fuck up by the women of social media.